Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so if you've been studying English for a while, you probably think you've got a pretty solid handle on your verb tenses, right? Well, today, we're going to completely transform the way you think about advanced grammar. We're moving way past those basic textbook rules to see how native speakers actually use verbs to, essentially, shape reality.
Right, let's dive into this foundational mind shift. At the advanced level, choosing your tense is actually all about psychology. It's about your personal viewpoint. It is way less about exactly when something happens on a clock or a calendar, and far more about how you, the speaker, feel about that action. You're making a deliberate choice to present information in a very specific light. The tense you choose, that's just the brush you use to paint the picture.
And as you'll see throughout this explainer, native speakers are constantly dynamically switching between simple and continuous tenses for three specific reasons: to show permanence, to show annoyance, or to add emphasis. By making just a tiny, microscopic tweak to the verb, you aren't just conveying raw data anymore. You're literally giving the listener a secret key to your internal worldview.
Section 1. Permanent versus temporary situations.
Okay, this brilliantly illustrates the subtle psychological shift I'm talking about. Take the simple tense. I live in London. This asserts a long-term, permanent home, right? You're settled, you've got roots. But simply shifting to the continuous tense, I am living in London, completely changes the vibe. It implies a ticking clock. The speaker knows they're going to leave in a few months. The physical apartment you're sleeping in tonight might be exactly the same in both scenarios, but your perspective completely rewires the grammar.
We see this exact same shift with career trajectories. Saying, he works at the bank, signals a stable career path. He's a banker. This is his chosen profession. But shifting to, he is working at the bank, suddenly turns that job into a temporary summer gig, or, just a stepping stone until he finds something else. The grammar itself is doing all the heavy lifting to reveal his life plans, and it does it without adding any extra vocabulary at all.
Section 2. The art of complaining.
Now, if grammar is just some rigid set of rules you memorize for a test, how exactly do we bend those rules to show that someone's behavior is really getting on our nerves? Like, how can a simple verb tense tell someone that you are incredibly frustrated?
Well, the word always normally dictates a present simple routine. Think about a neutral fact like, I always drink coffee. But forcing the word always into the continuous tense, that is the ultimate grammatical complaint. It's a deliberate rule break meant to emphasize that a habit is just driving you absolutely crazy. It's exactly what you'd use for a roommate who is always leaving their dirty dishes in the sink.
Listen carefully to the difference in emotion here. Calmly stating, he always asks questions is just a neutral fact. Maybe he's a really curious, engaged student. But express that exact same basic idea with a slight shift. He is always asking questions. Do you hear the frustration? By stretching the verb into the continuous, asking, you are dragging out the action to mirror exactly how draining it feels to you. That is the emotional power of the continuous tense in action.
Section 3. Projecting into the future. For our final mind shift today, we're going to look at how tenses allow us to perform mental time travel. We're going to contrast the future simple, that's will plus your base verb, with the future continuous, which tacks on an ing. Now, the simple tense is highly functional. It's great for sudden decisions, making promises, or just stating facts. But the future continuous? Oh, that one is highly cinematic. It literally allows you to visualize a scene unfolding.
Let's break that down. I will call you at 8 p.m. Using the future simple here acts as a super straightforward promise. It's a factual statement of a future event. It points to a single dot on the timeline. It's direct, it's simple, and it gets the job done.
But to get that cinematic effect, change the tense. I will be driving at 8 p.m. The future continuous projects you right into an action that is already in progress. The driving starts before 8 p.m. At exactly 8 p.m., you are actively behind the wheel, and it's going to continue afterward. You've just transported the listener into the front seat of your car at that exact future moment, perfectly explaining why you won't be able to pick up the phone.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to think about your own conversations today. How is your choice of tense secretly revealing your true feelings right now? Consider how you might be unconsciously shaping reality with your verbs. Are you signaling to friends that your apartment is temporary? Are you secretly annoyed by a partner's habit? You now have the tools to spot this, not just in your own speech, but in everyone around you. Language isn't just a set of rules to memorize. It is the lens through which we frame our entire world.